At this point, I'd like to sort of invite any questions that you might have. Sort of intermittently while I continue.
Yeah, ask your question.
Yeah.
First one, well, they're very different questions.
Yeah.
First one about the knob.
Yeah.
It looks, or at least it feels, from the perspective of someone who is watching and never played the game, that there is some hidden mappings on how far the fine control. So if when you're doing a gesture, it's more looks like it's more concerned about the gesture that's doing, or the head of the fine position. That okay, now I'm pushing all the way to the right. It feels like it's it understands that you push to the right. It doesn't matter how long you push, something like this. So is there some hidden mappings to allow a little bit of leniency, like better gaming experience?
Well, certainly there's an aspect of how the actual algorithm detects the knobs, right? There's a certain level of errors that it allows you to sort of keep. But aside from a little bit of that, you know, like if it asks for a very steep velocity turn, right, you have to sort of turn it more quickly than you would if it were sort of like a relaxed, slow turn, right? So there is a notion that, you know, like you can sort of reduce it down to directionality, but there's a lot going on with like how fast they're moving, sort of the period of time that's spanning over. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're not done.
I'm not done. I have a
Oh yeah.
but,
Sorry. Yeah.
no, but it's actually about the instrument design, or in terms of the control.
Yeah.
So there is again, it seems like there is a purposely made non ergonomically. So it could be more ergonomic in terms of the placement of the buttons and everything. Yeah, well, definitely. You could have smaller buttons on the top of on the plate, on the position of your hands, and you don't have to move a lot. But so what I wonder is how do you perceive this as a trade-off between trying to push more what's the word, expertise or development of expertise versus having something that's kind of ergonomic, so that's ergonomic that makes it easier to play.
Well, I can pull a lot of stuff from the just general instrument and interface studies, right? There is research done on low cost entry, right? Low cost entry is something simple to learn, something easy to play, but that allows for a high level of virtuosity, right? So actually to me, this feels quite ergonomic. I don't know how it appears to other people. Maybe other people, other even rhythm gamers don't enjoy sound voltage as much as they do other games that cater to them better, that feels better for them. There are many different rhythm games that are being produced in so many different styles and interfaces that there's almost bound to be something, you know, low cost entry, you know, sort of easy for them to pick up, but allows for a high level of mastery to a certain point. That makes sense. I'll take one more question and then show something else.
Yes. First of all, can you please volume it down? Like
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So you want it all the way.
All the way down?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to know. Well, first of all, I'm a composer,
Yeah.
so this is a question coming from a composer perspective.
Yeah.
Two questions. One, to what extent do you think it's an instrument? Because, like, from my opinion, I think what you've shown us is not necessarily something that belongs to. Well, like my personal understanding of what an instrument is, because like you don't really have a control to like do something as you want your music to go, you know. So like I want to know why, to what extent you think it's an instrument.
Yeah.
And question number 2 is, so how is this on the same strand? How is this not any different from music product? You know, if I have to specify, instrument is supposed to be different from music product because this is something that's supposed to be lucrative, which is not this is controversial, but I personally don't really see that as the essence of art. So I want to see what your opinion is about that.
Yeah, well, for that, I guess what I'd have to say is, how is that any different from what we experience in instrumental music and music that we perform out in day to day, right? So, for example, right, if we want to talk about, the first motion was about how is this an instrument if we don't have control, right? I mean, there are plenty of people with plenty of reviews probably about concertwriting. This is not how Beethoven wanted it, right? And this is what the score wanted. Here's exactly what we should be following the score, right? We should be playing it like, metronomically here, and we should be playing it exactly as desired by, I don't know, like a conductor, or by as Beethoven wanted here, right? So I think there's a notion of this following directions that exist even prevalently in music today. It's like, and before, not all music right now. There's a big push to, be sort of improvisatory and free, but there still is that music practice of wanting to stick to the rules, right? And as for lucrativeness, right? Labels, recordings, marketing of music, right? So it's not really an answer that responds to, in the case of this particular game, how do I see it as musical and not lucrative? It's more of a sort of like side answer, which is even if it wasn't, how is that any different from other instrumental musical experiences we have?
So my point is.
Yeah, which is why I framed the question in that way, right? Sort of to push that thinking in that direction.
So I think a better way to frame her comment would be how low the agency is, so we can consider this an instrument anymore.
Which is precisely what I'm asking. Yeah, we're asking you to consider, which I don't really want to prescribe an answer right now, right? So again, just to keep on time, I'll finish up with one last song, just one thing that I wanted to do, and I'm happy to take questions afterwards, if that's okay with people.
Perfect.
Yeah, one more song. The main point that I wanted to make with the next song is, and my final thing that I'll do is how it differs from the one that you just saw moments ago, right? So there was a sort of fast-flowing nature. This one is going to have sort of a more EDM style to it, sort of heavy kicks. And I want you to think about, with this not being mapped to anything in particular, these buttons, right? How does this allow us to realize parameters of music in ways that it could otherwise not be? Right? In particular, I like you to pay attention to cardinality of the buttons, right? When are there 1 button, 2 buttons, 3 buttons being pressed at the same time, and why? And I'll finish up with this for the next presentation.
I love this song so much.
I'm happy to take any questions afterwards or comments or ideas while we're discussing. Ideas to unpack. We have the next question coming up. Yeah. Yeah, no.